Rachel Martinez stood in the middle of her bedroom, her hands trembling as she held Marcus's phone charger, the only thing he'd left behind. The silk sheets on his side of the bed were cold. They've been cold for 3 days now. "Come on, Marcus. Pick up, please," she whispered, dialing his number for the 47th time. It went straight to voicemail. Again. "Hey, this is Marcus Kane. Leave a message." Rachel's throat tightened. That voice, confident, warm, the one that had promised to love her forever, now mocked her from a recording. It had started so normally. Tuesday morning, Marcus had kissed her goodbye, grabbed his laptop bag, and said he had back-to-back meetings all day. "Don't wait up, babe. Tech investors are demanding." She'd smiled, made him promise to eat something other than coffee, and watched him disappear into the elevator. That was 72 hours ago. At first, she'd thought nothing of it. Marcus was the CEO of NextGen Technologies, a billion-dollar AI company. Long hours were normal. All-nighters happened, but Marcus always called, always texted. Even during his busiest weeks, she'd get a thinking of you message or a silly emoji at 2 a.m. This time, nothing. Complete silence. Rachel had called his office Wednesday morning. His assistant, Jennifer, sounded confused. "Mr. Kane? He told me he was taking a few personal days. Said he'd be unreachable. Didn't he tell you? Personal days?" They'd been married for 3 years, and Marcus had never taken a personal day without her. She called his business partner, David. "Haven't heard from him, Rachel. But you know Marcus, sometimes he needs to unplug. Give him space." Space? From his wife? By Thursday afternoon, panic had fully set in. She'd contacted hospitals, police stations, even checked their bank accounts. That's when she noticed it. A withdrawal of $5,000 in cash from an ATM in Chicago. Chicago. They lived in Manhattan. Marcus had been in Chicago. Without telling her, Rachel sank onto their bed, her mind racing. Was he hurt? Kidnapped? Having an affair? No, not Marcus. He loved her. He'd propose on a beach in Santorini, tears in his eyes, saying she was his forever. But forever was starting to feel like a lie. Her phone buzzed. She grabbed it desperately, hoping, praying it was him. "Unknown number, Mrs. Kane. This is Detective Morrison with NYPD. We received your missing person report. I need to ask you some questions." Rachel's heart pounded. "Did you find him? Is he okay?" "Ma'am, we need to meet in person. Can you come to the precinct? Tell me if he's alive." A pause. "We haven't located your husband, but we found some information that requires your immediate attention. How soon can you get here?" 40 minutes later, Rachel sat in a gray interrogation room that smelled like stale coffee in desperation. Detective Morrison, a tired-looking woman in her 50s, slid a folder across the table. "Mrs. Kane, I need you to prepare yourself. Just tell me, please." Rachel's voice cracked. "Your husband used his credit card at a grocery store in Naperville, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, yesterday afternoon." Rachel exhaled in relief. "So he's alive. He's okay. Why won't he answer my calls?" Detective Morrison opened the folder. Inside were surveillance photos. Marcus, pushing a shopping cart. In the cart sat a little girl, maybe 4 years old, laughing. Beside him walked a blonde woman holding the hand of a young boy. Rachel's world tilted. Who are they?" "We ran the woman's face through our database. Her name is Sarah Kane. According to public records." The detective paused, her expression sympathetic. "She's been married to Marcus Kane for 6 years. The room spun. Rachel gripped the table's edge. "That's impossible. I'm married to Marcus. We got married 3 years ago in Manhattan. I have a certificate, the photos, everything. So does she, Mrs. Kane. So does she. If you're already hooked, drop a comment below with fire, and let's uncover this mystery together." Rachel didn't remember leaving the police station. She didn't remember the cab ride home or climbing the stairs to her house. All she remembered was sitting on their bathroom floor at 2 a.m., staring at her wedding ring, wondering if anything in her life was real. By sunrise Friday, shock had transformed into determination. If Marcus wouldn't answer her calls, she'd find her own answers. Sterling Investigations. This is Thomas Sterling. Rachel had found a private investigator online. 5-star reviews, former FBI, specialized in infidelity and fraud cases. Exactly what she needed. Mr. Sterling, my name is Rachel Martinez Kane. I need your help. My husband has another family. She met him at his office that afternoon. Thomas Sterling was exactly what she'd imagined. Mid-50s, silver hair, eyes that had seen too much. His office walls were covered with certificates and photos of him shaking hands with police commissioners. "Tell me everything," he said, pouring her coffee she couldn't drink. Rachel laid it all out. The disappearance, the Chicago ATM withdrawal, the surveillance photos, Sarah Kane, the children. Her voice remained steady until she got to the wedding details. "We got married at the Plaza Hotel. 300 guests. His business partners were there. David gave a toast about how Marcus finally found his soulmate." "How do you fake that?" "You don't fake it, Mrs. Kane. You compartmentalize it." Thomas leaned forward. "Men like your husband, wealthy, powerful, used to controlling narratives, they're exceptionally good at living double lives. I've seen cases where men maintained separate families for decades. But why? If you wanted Sarah, why marry me? That's what we're going to find out." He opened his laptop. "I'll need access to your financial records, your wedding documents, any correspondence between you and Marcus. Phone records, emails, text messages. Everything." Rachel spent the next hour providing everything he requested. Bank statements showing joint accounts. Mortgage papers for the penthouse. Wedding photos where Marcus looked genuinely happy. Text messages. "Can't wait to see you tonight, beautiful. You're my everything, Rachel. Forever starts today." Had all been lies? "Give me 72 hours, Thomas said. I have contacts in Chicago. We'll find out who Sarah Kane is, how long this has been going on, and most importantly, what your legal standing is." Those 72 hours were the longest of Rachel's life. She couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Every time her phone rang, her heart seized, hoping it was Marcus with some impossible explanation that would make everything make sense. It never was. Monday morning, Thomas called. "My office. Now, you need to see this." Rachel had never driven through Manhattan traffic so recklessly. She burst into his office 40 minutes later, breathless. Thomas had transformed his conference room into an investigation war room. Photos covered an entire wall, connected by red string like a crime drama. Timeline shots, bank statements, birth certificates. "Sit down, Rachel. Just tell me." Sarah Kane, born Sarah Mitchell, married Marcus Kane 6 years ago in Chicago. They have 2 children, Emma, age 5, and Jacob, age 3. They live in a 4-bedroom house in Naperville. Marcus is listed as the father on both birth certificates. Rachel's legs gave out. She collapsed into a chair. Thomas continued, his voice gentler now. "Sarah works part-time as a pediatric nurse. According to neighbors I interviewed, Marcus is there every other week, sometimes more. They think he travels for business. He coaches Jacob's t-ball team. Take Emma to ballet. He has a whole other life," Rachel whispered. "A whole other family. There's more." Thomas placed a document in front of her. "This is Sarah and Marcus's marriage certificate, dated March 22nd, 2022, legally filed with New York State. Then I'm his wife. Legal wife. That's where it gets complicated." Thomas's expression darkened. "In most states, second marriage while the first is still valid is bigamy, a crime. Your marriage to Marcus would technically be void." But he pulled up more documents. Marcus filed for divorce from Sarah 18 months ago. It was finalized 2 months before he married you. Rachel's head spun. "So he did divorce her. So I'm his legal wife. That's what the paperwork says." "But Rachel," Thomas showed her another photo. This was taken last weekend. Marcus, Sarah, and the kids at Sarah's parents' house for a birthday party. They're together, acting like a married couple. Sarah introduced Marcus to her relatives as her husband. "I don't understand. If they're divorced, why?" "Because Sarah doesn't know they're divorced." The room went silent. "What?" Rachel could barely breathe. "I contacted Sarah yesterday, pretending to be a reporter doing a feature on successful Chicago families. She had no idea she'd been divorced. Said she and Marcus have been happily married for 6 years, that he travels for work but always comes home." Rachel felt like she was drowning. He divorced her without her knowing? It's possible if he forged her signature or had documents delivered to an address she doesn't check. Or Thomas paused. It's possible the divorce is fake too. I'm having a forensic analyst examine the documents. So what you're telling me is... Rachel's voice rose. I might be married to a man who's still married to someone else. Or I might be legally married to a man who's gaslighting his first wife into thinking they're still together. What kind of monster does that? The kind who's hiding something much bigger. This story gets darker. Drop a comment. Subscribe if you like the story. Would you hire a PI or confront him directly? Rachel's hands shook as she boarded the flight to Chicago. Thomas had advised against confronting Marcus directly. Let me gather more evidence first. We don't know what we're dealing with. But Rachel was done waiting, done being passive. Marcus had stolen 3 years of her life, built a marriage on lies. She deserved answers, and she'd get them, even if she had to fly to suburban Chicago and knock on Sarah Kane's door herself. The Uber dropped her off in front of a charming 2-story house with a white picket fence. A child's bicycle lay in the front yard. Wind chimes hung from the porch. It looked like a home, like love lived there. Unlike their sterile Manhattan penthouse that Marcus had insisted on buying. It's a good investment, babe. Great for entertaining clients. Now she understood. The penthouse wasn't a home. It was a hotel, a place Marcus stayed between his real life. Rachel's finger hovered over the doorbell. What would she even say? Hi, I'm the woman your husband married while married to you. This was insane. Born in Boston, graduated from Stanford. Has a scar on his left shoulder from a surfing accident. Drinks his coffee black with exactly 2 ice cubes because he's impatient. Sarah's face drained of color. Who are you? I told you. I'm his wife. We've been married for 3 years. We live in Manhattan. And until a week ago, I had no idea you existed. Sarah stumbled backward. This is some kind of sick joke. Did Marcus put you up to this? Is this a prank? Rachel pulled out her phone, showing her wedding photos. Marcus in a tuxedo, her in a white dress, kissing at the altar. Sarah snatched the phone, her hands trembling. This can't be real. Marcus wouldn't. We have children together. We've been married for 6 years. 6 years. I have a marriage certificate, legal documents, 3 years of bank statements showing joint accounts. So do I. Sarah's voice cracked. We bought this house together. He's Emma's father, Jacob's father. He was here 2 weeks ago for Jacob's birthday. We had cake. We sang songs. He kissed me goodnight and said he loved me. Both women stared at each other, the weight of betrayal crushing them equally. Where is he now? Rachel asked quietly. He texted yesterday. Said he landed a huge contract, has to stay in New York through next week. Sarah's face crumbled. Oh my God, he's with you. No, he's not with me. He disappeared 8 days ago. I haven't heard from him since. Then where is he? A car pulled into the driveway. Both women turned. Rachel's heart stopped. Marcus stepped out, carrying grocery bags, completely relaxed. He looked up, saw them both standing together, and froze. The grocery bags slipped from his hands. Milk splattered across the driveway. Rachel? Where are you? How did you? His eyes darted between them, panic replacing his usual confidence. Are you married to her? Sarah's voice was steel. Sarah, I can explain. Are you married to her? Marcus ran a hand through his hair, his facade cracking. It's complicated. It's a yes or no question, Marcus. Fine. Yes. Yes, I'm married, Rachel. But Sarah, you have to understand. Sarah slapped him. Hard. Emma stopped chasing butterflies and stared at her parents. You understand that our children are watching you admit to bigamy? I'm not a bigamist. Marcus shouted, then caught himself, lowering his voice. Sarah, we're divorced. We got divorced 18 months ago. I'm legally married to Rachel now. Sarah's face went white. We're what? Divorced. I filed papers. It was finalized before I married Rachel. Everything was legal. I never signed divorce papers. You did, at the mediator's office. You just don't remember because... Marcus stopped himself. Because what, Marcus? Rachel stepped forward. Because you forged her signature? Because you drugged her? What did you do? Nothing. Explain the Disney trip. Explain the birthday parties and t-ball games and bedtime kisses. Explain who the hell I really am, Marcus. He looked at both of them, trapped, and then said the words that shattered everything. Sarah is my wife. You, Rachel, You were never supposed to find out. You were the experiment. Wait, it gets even more twisted. Hit the subscribe button now, because the next part of this story will reveal who Rachel really is. And trust me, you won't see it coming. Comment how you feel about the story and what you will do if you were to be Rachel. Experiment. Rachel's voice was barely a whisper. Marcus's mask had fully slipped. Gone was the charming CEO, the loving husband. In his place stood a stranger with cold, calculating eyes. I didn't mean for it to sound like that, he said, but there was no remorse in his tone. Sarah was sobbing, clutching the porch railing. Get away from my house. Get away from my children. Sarah, please, just let me explain. What's there to explain, Marcus? You married another woman while married to me. That's bigamy. That's a crime. We're divorced. Marcus pulled out his phone, scrolling frantically. I have the documents right here. Finalized October 2021. I'm not a bigamist. Rachel stepped forward. Show me those documents. Now. Marcus hesitated, then handed over his phone. Rachel studied the divorce decree. It looked official, court stamps, judge's signature, both Marcus and Sarah's names. But something felt wrong. Sarah, did you ever receive divorce papers? Any legal documents? Never. I would remember getting divorced from my husband. Rachel zoomed in on the signature. Sarah's handwriting was loopy, feminine. This signature was harsh, angular. Different. This isn't her signature. Yes, it is. She signed it at the mediation in October 2021. I was never at any mediation. Sarah screamed. In October 2021, I was 8 months pregnant with Jacob. I was on bed rest. I couldn't even leave the house. Marcus's jaw tightened. You're misremembering. The pregnancy made you confused. Don't you dare gaslight me about my own pregnancy. Rachel's mind raced. If Sarah was on bed rest in October 2021, and this divorce was supposedly filed then, but you didn't marry me until March 2022, what were you doing for those 5 months? Building my relationship with you, dating you properly before proposing. We only dated for 4 months before you proposed. You told me you'd been divorced for 2 years. You said your ex-wife lived in California, that it had been a brief marriage in your 20s, that you rarely thought about her anymore. I simplified the story. You lied. Rachel's voice rose. Just like you lied to Sarah about business trips. Just like you lied to me about working late. Just like you're lying right now. A neighbor's door opened. An elderly woman peeked out. Marcus noticed, his expression darkening. Inside. Now, both of you. Unless you want the entire neighborhood knowing our business. Something in his tone made Rachel's skin crawl. But she followed Sarah into the house, Marcus behind them. The living room was exactly what she'd imagined. Family photos everywhere, children's toys scattered about, a life built on what Sarah thought was solid ground. Marcus closed the door and locked it. Unlock that door, Rachel demanded. Not until you both listen. We're not prisoners, Marcus. Just sit down and listen. Both women froze. They'd never heard him yell like that. Rachel had never seen this version of Marcus. Unhinged, desperate, dangerous. They sat. Marcus paced, running his hands through his hair. Okay, fine. You want the truth? Here it is. Sarah and I got married 6 years ago. We have 2 beautiful children. She's a wonderful mother. I love her. Sarah made a strangled sound. But, Marcus continued, I needed more. The company was expanding rapidly. I was making connections in New York, meeting investors, building an empire. I couldn't do that while being tied to suburban Chicago life. Soccer games and dance recitals don't impress venture capitalists. So you married someone else? Rachel couldn't believe what she was hearing. I married the perfect Manhattan wife. Sophisticated, educated, no family ties that would complicate things. Someone who'd look good at galas, who wouldn't ask too many questions about my travel schedule. You mean someone you could control, Rachel said quietly. It was temporary and it worked. The divorce is legal, which means my marriage to Rachel is legal, which means nobody committed bigamy. Just fraud, Rachel said, and conspiracy, and emotional abuse, and forgery. Prove it, Marcus said coldly. Prove I forged anything. Prove I knew Sarah wasn't informed. I have documents showing everything was handled properly through legal channels. Rachel stared at him. This man she'd shared a bed with, made plans with, trusted completely. He wasn't just a liar. He was a sociopath. Her phone buzzed. Thomas Sterling. DNA results are in. Call me immediately. You need to know who you really are. Rachel's blood ran cold. What DNA results? What are you talking about? Marcus's confidence faltered. The private investigator I hired ran a DNA test using hair from your brush at the penthouse. Compared it against public genealogy databases. So, what does that have to do with anything? Rachel's hand shook as she opened Thomas's follow-up text. She read it once, twice, 3 times. Each time, the words made less sense. Rachel. Sarah was watching her. What is it? Rachel looked up at Marcus, her entire world crumbling for the second time in one day. According to this DNA test, I'm not Rachel Martinez. Rachel Martinez died in a car accident 8 years ago. She could barely form the words. Thomas found her death certificate. He found her grave. Whoever I am, I'm not her. Marcus went very still. That's impossible. Is it? Because apparently I have no records before age 20. No birth certificate. No social security activity. Nothing. It's like I didn't exist until I showed up in New York 5 years ago. Then who are you? Sarah whispered. Rachel looked at both of them, her mind reeling with horrifying possibilities. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And Marcus, her voice turned to ice. When I discover what you did, what you're really hiding, I'm going to destroy you. She walked toward the door. Rachel, wait. That's not my name. And you, she turned back, are not my husband. You're a stranger, a monster. And whatever game you've been playing, it's over. She unlocked the door and walked out into the sunlight, leaving behind the ruins of 2 marriages and 1 identity. Behind her, she heard Sarah's voice, quiet but firm. Get out of my house, Marcus, and don't ever come back. The main question is, who is Rachel? Drop your comment and express how you feel about this story under the comment. Subscribe for more stories coming soon.